All right, time now to turn back to meteorologist Cedric Haynes here in the Storm Alert Center on this chilly Wednesday afternoon, and it was actually cold this morning, Cedric.
Yes, Latrice, it was definitely cold. The first freeze for most of the area here in the Tennessee Valley. And of course, it is a new month here as we are now November the 1st. So let's talk about the averages for November, because we are going to be well below average for the first day of November. In fact, our average high temperature, 68 degrees. We're not going to come close to that. And the average low temperature is 45 degrees. So obviously we were way below average this morning. Now look at the average by the end of the month. 57. We'll be closer to that today, but not even that warm. And the average low temperature is still above freezing by the end of the month at 37 degrees. So that gives you an idea of how cold these temperatures really are that we have out there. Look at this. We typically average almost 5 inches of rainfall. So we start to see that coming up. We hope that that's going to be the case this month, but at least the first week or so, it doesn't look very likely for us here to see a lot of rainfall. And of course, we lose 45 more minutes of daylight, so it will start to get darker and darker sooner and sooner across the area. And we don't really average any snowfall, but just because we don't average snowfall doesn't mean it's not possible, right? Let's talk about the temperatures this morning, because it was a very cold start. Remember, the average low temperature should be around 45 degrees or so. It dropped down to 26 in Altamont, 27 in Dayton, got down to 30 in Athens, 29 in Murphy, 28 in Blue Ridge, 31 in Dalton, 30 in Fort Payne, and 32 in Scottsboro. So everyone at or below freezing this morning, except for at the airport in Chattanooga, where it was 33 degrees. But I do think even at the airport, it will go below freezing by tomorrow morning. We're all the way up now to 43 degrees. Remember, our average low this time of the year is 45 degrees. So we are still below our average low temperature for this time of the year. It is quite cold. And look at that dew point of 19, very dry air. I'll have more on that in just a moment. But look at these temperatures across the area as you're heading out for lunch. 37 in Blue Ridge, 39 in Athens. We still have 39 degrees in Lafayette, and it's just barely above freezing in Altamont at 34 degrees. And of course, that wind out of the north and northeast, anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour, up to 20 at times, is creating a wind chill. So this is what you got to dress for, what it feels like on the exposed skin when you step out the door. Feels like it's about 25 degrees in Altamont, 34 in Calhoun right now. Feels like it's 32 degrees in Lafayette, 36 degrees in Cleveland, and 37 degrees currently is what it feels like in Fort Payne. So as we go throughout this afternoon, that sunshine will try to warm these temperatures up a little bit more, but it's still going to be a blustery afternoon with highs only climbing into the lower 50s out there. And then once the sun sets, we start to drop those temperatures back this evening with clear skies. We're back into the 30s by later on this evening, which means, yes, it will be colder than last night tonight. So we'll go with a high temperature in the low to mid 50s here in the valley areas, mid to upper 40s in the higher elevations with lots of sunshine, but blustery and chilly conditions. And then tonight with clear skies, and here's the key, calm winds. That's what's going to allow those temperatures to get even colder tonight. So I think most of us will be down into the 20s. So a hard freeze, very possible for many folks as we go throughout tonight. And that means that the freeze warning continues for most areas that may or may not have seen freezing temperatures last night. We'll definitely see it tonight. So expect the end of the growing season by tonight. So it is another one of those 4 P's nights where you got to talk about that hard freeze. Remember to heat those homes safely. Watch out for those portable heaters. Of course, bring the pets inside, bringing those plants and things as well. And of course, to insulate and cover those exposed pipes and faucets. You don't want to have any plumbing issues with these cold temperatures. Now, we also have that dry air in place, so we've got a fire weather warning across North Georgia and an elevated fire risk across Southeast Tennessee. What does all that mean? Look at the dew points. The measure of moisture in the air, non-existent right now. You've got to definitely have the moisturizer on, and with the very dry brush out there with these extreme drought conditions, it's going to remain on the dry side. In fact, just so you know this, September and October has averaged now as the 2 most consecutive months of driest weather, number 2 on the list. And I don't see much in the way of any rainfall coming up for us anytime soon. In fact, over the next 5 to 7 days, just a chance of some light rain maybe by the beginning of next week. But Latrice, breezy conditions and cool today, highs in the low 50s, a very frosty start for your Thursday morning. But then we start a warming trend heading into the weekend.